What is up, everyone? JD here. Hope you're doing well today. We're going to be talking about the release of an upcoming collab between traditional pocket knives and Divo. We're talking nip slip. Let's jump into it. All right, guys, we got them on the table. They're going to be dropping on September 26th at Traditional Pocket Knives, and code JDTPK will save you $5, making these about, I think, $194. What are you getting for that money? Because that is a lot of money for a slip joint. I know, I hear it already in the comments, guys, and hear me out. If you look at what Jack Wolf has going on over there with their S90V and some hand finish, and it's a kick only or a kick stop only built knife, you know, $299 is a lot of money. So I think what Divo has here in collaboration with traditional pocket knives is really quite interesting. So the first example that we have here is going to be the purple dark matter haze with the titanium pivot collar that has been anodized purple to contrast or bring out the contrast of the purples there. And then you have that belt satin finish on the S90V. It's a very beautiful knife. It does have a stop pin, and the stop pin, what it does, it's a more affordable way to consistently keep the knife from wrapping against the back spring. So it's it does affect the noise on the close, so it's a little bit more pronounced of a hit, whereas the kick doesn't have as much of a pronounced effect on there. But QSP has really gotten good at these, man. There's no seams going on anywhere. You can see a little bit of the gap between the back spring and the blade, which is not that awful. And due to the heavy chamfering, or heavy contouring, I should say, you do see a little bit of the button screw heads, but they really could not get those to go in any further with as thin as they have made this. So, you know, they have that barley that they've done with Urban EDC Supply. I know this is the nip, but it kind of gives you that vibe a little bit, like it's a more premium feeling slip joint that you can still get a comfortable grip on. This is going to be excellent to get into your Amazon packages, open some mail. If you got some loose string on your shirt or something like that, you'd be able to cut it off. And it would still do well enough to like break out a zip tie if you got to do any type of trace or tabletop cuts with that. This is going to be nice. You're going to be able to either purchase the additional slips that they're selling with these and throw it in there. And I think they've done some matchup slips and order from different slip makers for this. So there's some really quality slips to be had with these, which I think is awesome that they decided to do that, to have that available. Doesn't come with the slip, but to me, although it is premium and it is titanium, and you know that can snail trail, this would be a fifth pocket knife for me. I would definitely, you know, companion carry, fifth pocket carry, excellent pull on there. When I got this one, the most ready to go happened to be this one here, and then this was right on the heels of it, and this one here needed more break-in. But having spent a couple of days with it now, it's gotten a lot better. I'm being careful because this one, I wasn't paying attention on the live stream, and when I went to close it, my finger went up. It slipped up and it caught right on the end there. So I'm being a little bit more careful. I'm paying attention to, I was rushing to clean up the table to wrap up, but very beautiful finishes here. I think the little bit of purple on there and the way that they styled this inlay, they did a fantastic job. Like, QSP absolutely killed it. I got the nip light here. We're going to bring that out here in a second. The next one up is going to be the orange. Now, the orange is a little bit different. It's not titanium for the pivot collar. They did aluminum so they could anodize it orange in order to match the orange inlay. And truth be told, I didn't think I was going to like this one. I thought this was going to be my least favorite, and then I got it in and got it in hand. And I think it is my second favorite out of the bunch. This one here, very consistent. Feels just like the purple now that the purple's broken in. The purple, when I got it, was almost like, couldn't, like, just to show you, I can manipulate it, but it's a strong pull. I initially said 7.5, but I think I'm pulling all of them up to like a 7.8, almost an 8, not quite an 8, but definitely a very strong pull, which I do like because I feel like that's going to make it hard to get past that break, and you have that forward choil there to kind of help protect. I don't want to test my luck too much here since this one already bit me once. I think it's trying to tell me to to buy this one instead of sending it back when I'm done with the review. Um, but it's really beautiful. I think the orange, I think the reason I like it is because the orange really pulls out from behind on that carbon fiber, that shred, especially on that side, man. It just absolutely looks stunning. I really do like this one a lot. And I love the way that they finished this titanium. It's very beautiful. I don't know if that's a sandblast or what they did with it, but it is very, very beautiful. There's a little bit of oil and stuff on there from me handling it. So let me try to clean these up a little bit because I'm thinking my grubby hands are keeping it from really, I want it to look nice and be able to see what it is that I'm talking about on these because, my hands are a little sweaty probably from, I'm like on my third review today. So I'm probably not doing these justice, but they're really quite stunning for the money. And the materials, if you think about it, all titanium, steel back spring. You're getting carbon fiber inlays on these. Extremely well done. I don't know if they're doing the belt satin finish by hand or if they've been able to manipulate their belt satin to look like that, but it's such a deep hollow grind. But isn't it really, I mean, it's hard to explain and convey through camera, but it is so smooth. That finish on it is so smooth, and there is absolutely no jump anywhere on this one. I think the orange one, when I did the initial one, yeah, like right there, just a tiny little bit. You can sort of feel the transition, but it feels like more, yeah, just on the top of this side. And on this side, there is not. So it may just be this one. And I know when they glue these in, sometimes it can be kind of tough to be super consistent. But man, that orange just absolutely pops. Sorry, this green, the pop-up to sign up for text alerts keeps coming up. So let me close this. It's distracting me. All right, there we go. But really beautiful, man. Just, I absolutely love this one. And that belt satin finish, guys, it is really, and look how tall that hollow grind is. These are just super, super cool. Let me switch to my dominant hand here on the close to make sure. Yeah. Yeah, this is really, really nice, guys. I really like this a lot. The last one here is really interesting. I'm going to bring my UV light out here so that we can take a look at it here in a second. But just by looking at it here, all blacked out, man, that sounds good. Black wash blade, they did a good job with that black wash. Let me do the same thing here because who knows what, I don't know if it's going to convey. But the black wash looks really nice. You guys know I'm not normally a coated blade person simply because I know that you lose that heat treat a little bit when they have to apply more heat to coat it, and then they're going to go back and, wash it to tumble it to get it to look washed out like that, to look used, patinaed, whatever you want to call it. Same thing here, man. This is absolutely seamless. I mean, they did such a fantastic job. Beautiful Divo design. I know it's a collab. I think Austin has input as to, what the finishes are going to be that he's going to be offering, which I think is awesome. And what is really cool about this one, even though it is all blacked out, look at that. That glow resin that they're throwing on that handle scale is absolutely stunning, the way that it shines through when it hits the light. How often are you going to really use that? Probably not that often, but it is kind of cool. You're going to bed, it's out on your nightstand, you cut the light off and you see that for a little bit, just kind of glowing there. You can still see it a little, I think, through the camera there. Let me get a little closer and charge it up. And this UV light doesn't have a very high, it's not super strong, but it does for the camera. It really works to kind of showcase the color a little bit there. But I just really like these. So I think the glow resin is my favorite of the three. Unfortunately, I don't have any others. When I ordered the Lush, and I'm kind of surprised that we don't have one of those versions here on the table to match it. But I went with the 80s, and that was the first time I had seen Divo, I think, offer the glow resin that you see down here. So I went with that one. But if you're trying to match up your nips, I think, for me personally, the Divo offering of the nip that has the purple and the gray really kind of matches the purple up really nicely. Um, I know it's a lot different. It's not black wash or anything like that, but you could say if you got one of the satin versions, maybe you want to pick up the glow resin version. Now, one of the things I want to point out here is this is hollow ground by Kubi. And then on the QSP version, they just went bananas and they took that hollow ground all the way up to the top. You have flat scales with chamfering here, but you have contoured scales with the back spring. So if you didn't go nip or nip light, or you missed out on the nip when it first dropped and you liked the nip, I would encourage you to check out the nip slip. Now, if you like the fidget factor one-handed, that's just, it's not going to be able to compete with that. You're not going to be able to deploy it as such, but it does have a huge fidget factor to it. I don't know why I was struggling there. I don't normally ever struggle with that one. But I would say, man, it's strong. I don't know why it's feeling so strong today. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's because maybe it's mentally I'm feeling timid because it hit that orange one, got my thumb. But there is a fidget factor with this one for sure. And the pull on it is very strong. Now, I didn't, in that last review, I don't think I did my size comparisons for these. One of the other traditional pocket knife exclusives that I have that I love is going to be their version of the Hedgehog. This is the Chill Vibe, and it does have a slight mod to the blade there from Satu Dave. But this one here, I think also leverage plays a factor. But this one, yeah, it is the leverage. Having more of the blade to go out further out, because when I pull here, it feels exactly the same. The only thing is, with this one on their Hedgehog, you can see there's a little bit more gap than there is on the Nip Light around the blade. A little bit more of a gap, but the back spring pretty identical as far as how seamless it is. And these are a little bit more affordable. You got M390 instead of S90V. You got one party involved in the sale of this one versus two parties involved in the sale of this one because it's a collab. And then I think it's probably easier for them to do the screw down type onlay that they do here than it is to have the glued in and then completely submerged and surrounded inlay, right? I just think that's a little bit more affordable. As far as size comparisons, I thought this would be helpful too. I feel like the Nip Slip is actually smaller in size than both of these. So I think the Nip and Nip Light are a little bit longer, a little bit bigger overall. It's standing up on the pocket clip, which is making it hard. And then obviously it's bigger than the Hedgehog, but I like the depth on this. I think that's really nice to offset the fact that it is a little bit smaller. And then for those out there with rose crafts, I love my Lusahachi. The Lusahachi here, you can see very close in size. It's a little bit shorter, but that, again, height, I think, allows it to be more useful. But these are all companion carries. That sound. This has had the best. This has the best sound out of any Rosecraft that I've personally handled. I love the walk and talk on that. And then the Hedgehog, a little bit more muted with those onlays. My all titanium one had a better walk and talk than this. And you can really hear the stop pin on the close on this. It's very loud. So huge difference there. Of all of these, I would say these have the best walk and talk of anything that I've handled. I mean, they really sing. Yeah, they really, really sing. I actually think I like this better than the Venom Jack. That's my favorite Jack Wolf. And I think I like these better. I really do. I would love a nip slip large, something about the size of the I think that's where I pushed my face up to. But something the size, a nip slip this size, right? I think that would be money for me. I think because I have the larger hands, I think that would be money for me. But I think for the vast majority, these are awesome, man. Well done, excellent job. These are absolutely 100% must-haves. I know there's been a ton dropping right now, so it's been tough. And if you're not into slip joints, then you may not want anything to do with any of these. But I really do like them. I actually think I prefer these over the Nip Light. I think I really do. I think my favorite is the glow resin, and I actually think I like the orange next in line and the purple next, but they're all really good. I don't know. Which one do you like? I think a couple of you that I released this already to my members. I give them exclusive early access and such. A couple of them have said that they like the purple the best, and it is good looking, that's for sure. Be hard for me to choose, but I'd probably say 1, 2, and 3. And that shocks me, but again, that orange just jumps out from behind there in a very tasteful way. I like that. All right, guys, thanks for hanging out with me. Leave a like if you're going to pick these up. Definitely using my link helps. And then, of course, JD TPK saves you money on the purchase of this one. I really hope that they do well, because I'd love to see them do a nip large. If they don't do well, I don't think that they will. And I think a lot of us would like to see a nip slip large. I keep forgetting to throw the slip in there. Anyway, I'm out of here, guys. I love you. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.